Exactly 2 years ago I did a video here on the channel. Actually it was my very first review, a review of a little game for the PS1 called Tombi. Let's just refresh our memories a little bit.
And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to the very first episode of retroraider. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome to the channel. So I decided that for my first YouTube video I wanted to talk about a game that made a huge impact on my childhood. It's a game from my favorite system of all time, which is the PlayStation 1, and that game is Tombi.
And this is what I said at the end of the video.
This game got a sequel. Unfortunately I still don't have it, but you know, the hunt's still on. And the second one, I heard that it's not as good as the first one. It got some improvements on the graphics department and stuff like that, but you know, I still want the game. And the good news is that it is not as much expensive as the first one, but it's still a high bill. So I'm just waiting for the right opportunity to get a copy for myself.
Well, today's a special day, guys, because not only we are celebrating the 2nd anniversary of the retroraider show, but I also got Tombi 2 for the PS1. So yeah, I guess that the circle is finally complete. So let's take a closer look of Tombi 2 for the PS1 right after this. And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to another episode of retroraider. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome to the channel. If you are new on the channel, guys, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing. Here we are back again, guys, and that's right, I finally have Tombi 2 on my collection. I want to tell you guys how I got this game because, you know, as you guys know, the Tombi games are expensive games to get. The second one is not as expensive as the first one, but you know, it's still high in price for a PS1 game. I got this game through a friend, João Pardal. This was his game. He knew that I was looking for a copy for myself, and he told me that, you know, he was getting rid of the game, and he wanted the game to go into, you know, a nice collection, a nice home, and he gave me a killer deal. My friend, once again, thank you so much for the awesome deal, and as you know, it has come to a good home. Now, first things first, is Tombi 2 as great as Tombi 1? Well, honestly, no, it isn't. But did I have fun playing it? I absolutely did. It is a great game. I think that this is a great hidden gem on the PS1. It still resembles a lot Tombi 1. The spirit is definitely there, but it is kind of a completely different game. And for you non-European viewers, I really don't know why this game is called Tombi here in Europe, but I know that in your regional it's probably called Tomba. It is exactly the same game, the only difference is an A instead of an I. So let's talk about the plot and the premise of Tombi 2. Tombi 2, The Evil Swine Return, was developed by Whoopee Camp and released in Japan and North America in 1989. It was released in Europe in the year 2000. In Tombi 2, Zippo, Tombi's sidekick, brings him a letter saying that Tabby, Tombi's childhood friend, has disappeared. After reading the letter, Tombi leaps into the sea in search for Tabby. During his travels, Tombi finds out that Tabby was kidnapped by the evil pigs, while they were trying to steal the pendant that Tombi gave her. So it's up to Tombi to gather the evil pig bags again to stop them from cursing the land and rescue Tabby. Pretty much like Tombi 1, Tombi 2 is a side-scrolling platformer game with some RPG elements, although it is not as heavy on the RPG department like Tombi 1. But before that, let's talk about the graphics. Let's just take that out of the way. The graphics on Tombi 2 are just amazing. Beautiful graphics, I would say that's some of the best on the PS1. It has bright and vibrant colors, and it feels like everything in the game was rendered in real time. In Tombi 2, it really feels like, you know, you can interact with everything around you. You don't have those pre-rendered backgrounds. It really feels that everything blends really well. Now, you can have a beautiful game without a beautiful soundtrack. And like the graphics, the soundtrack in Tombi 2, well, it is great. Really good and vast soundtrack. Every place in the game has its own background music. Even places that are cursed by the evil pigs, once the curse is lifted, the soundtrack changes. The only problem that I personally have with the soundtrack of this game is that, you know, the songs are just very short. They sound great, they're catchy, they're memorable, but the thing is that what you get in the end pretty much is just a loop of 1-minute songs. But aside from that, perfect. Let's not forget that you also have voice acting in Tombi 2. And the voice acting and the characters, well, they're quirky. Pretty much like the plot and the whole story. I mean, a lot of people trash about the story of this game, but, you know, let's not forget that Tombi 1 and Tombi 2, I think that these games are games that it shouldn't be taken too seriously. But when it comes to the characters and the voice acting for those characters, I think that they did a great job. But in the end, it's really all about the gameplay, and this is the part where I was a little bit disappointed. The gameplay and mechanics of Tombi 1, it was not the best one, but I was used to it. While the gameplay in Tombi 2, well, it is worse. It is worse than Tombi 1. So this game is a platformer action RPG hybrid. You have events which are pretty much quests and side quests, and you hack and slash your opponents in a platformer environment. Now the main problem with Tombi 2, and this is a problem that we didn't have in Tombi 1, is that this is a 3D game. And when it comes to the presentation of this game, the visuals, I think that they made a great job in the transition of 2D to 3D. The problem is the mechanics and the camera. Although this is a 3D game, it plays on an isometric side-scrolling perspective with linear paths. And that is where the camera just screws it all. Sometimes it's hard to move, it is hard to jump, and that's not the type of things that you're looking for in a platformer. Now about the fighting, well, it is pretty much like Tombi 1, it's just hack and slash. You have classic weapons like the flails, the mallets, the boomerangs. You also jump on top of enemies and bite them, which is kind of Tombi's signature move. And you also have a very unique mechanic that was introduced in Tombi 2. You have different suits to use. Throughout the game, Tombi will come across different suits that he can equip. These suits will provide different abilities and defenses. The flying squirrel suit, for example, allows Tombi to glide long distances, while the pig suit allows you to communicate with friendly pigs. And yeah, this doesn't make any sense at all, but it is useful in the game. Classic characters have returned in this game, like Charles, which it is a little bit of an ass, but he's there. And you also have Santa. That's right, Santa is on Tombi 2. The new characters are fun, the new villages and places that you can visit are very interactive. And overall, guys, I think that it is just a fun game to play. Like Tombi 1, it is very original, it is very outside of the box. I think that the combination of RPG and platformer is very well executed in these games. And just a fun fact, I didn't try this out, but you actually have a very cool Easter egg in Tombi 2. I think there's 4 events in the game that you can only unlock if you're playing Tombi 2 with a save of Tombi 1 on the memory card. But I played this on the PS3, I didn't have those saves, so if you ever tried this one out, let me know in the comment section below. Well, to sum it up, guys, Tombi 2 is not as great as Tombi 1 in my opinion, but I think that the reason for that, at least in my case, it has a lot to do with nostalgia. Because I did play this game back in the day, I mean, it is one of my all-time favorite games on the PS1. And these games are just perfect examples of games that, in my opinion, should have been included with the PlayStation Classic. I'm not saying both, but at least one. This right here is pretty much all we have of the franchise, but I would love to see a return of these games. I mean, we are literally living the era of the remasters and the remakes. I mean, we have remakes and remasters for everything, and sometimes we have remakes of games that, didn't age that bad. And don't get me wrong, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of remakes and remasters. But these right here are the type of games that, should get a comeback into modern platforms. Because believe me, these games do have a cult following around them. And the funny thing is that I think that there's still a lot of people that never heard about Tombi, but the ones that did play the games are fans. And this is another very solid example of games that, are expensive, but I understand why. Not only are these rare and hard to come by, but they are rare games that are fun to play. So in my opinion, these are worth it. And that was the video, guys, so please let me know on the comment section below if you guys are Tombi fans. Did you play these games back in the day? Do you have them on your collection? Which one is your favorite? Let me know on the comment section below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to put a like on this video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourselves, take care of the gaming community, and game a lot.